Mr. Boopster's first annual Jankfest! Quarterfinal number 3. Alright, so I am piloting the Hunted Orb deck, which is of course Torpor Orb, Sundial of the Infinite, along with a bunch of cheap things that normally have a big downside when they enter the battlefield, but Torpor Orb and Sundial of the Infinite turn that off.
Yes.
So like 2 mana 7/7s, 4 mana 9/8 trample flying, that sort of thing.
Just the casual thing.
Yeah.
As for me, I am playing Blue Steel, which utilizes the Chief Engineer, and I forget the other guy's name, but the blue guys that allow other blue guys to build artifacts up.
Mm-hmm. And of course, Traxos is the new edition.
The new one that they want to build is Traxos.
Yeah.
Legendary 7/7 for only 4 mana, that just is a little harder to untap than normal creatures.
Yeah. But pretty easy with a land that untaps it.
Yes. Or just casting another artifact.
True. Yeah. So I rolled the last 2 times, you can roll this time, and I think I'll pick Inside. 8, 2, 3. So I will be on first. See you in game 1. Alright, game 1. Show of hands. Also, it's been a long time since we've used these sleeves. That's my hand. Go ahead.
We've got those.
Whoop. Alright. So, I will play a River of Tears. Pass turn.
Draw for turn. Island. And an Artificer's Assistant.
Okay.
Another new card.
Yeah.
Turgo.
Little bird. Everyone likes a little bird. Here's a swamp, and let's turn off your little bird. Torpor Orb.
Kind of. Oh no, it's when it's cast, so you don't actually turn it off. It's not when it enters.
Oh, okay.
So you can't turn it off.
Sure. That's fine. Go ahead. It's more of a combo piece than the shutdown piece.
Yeah.
Just happens to have a tiny bit of upside.
Another island. We will go for Chief Engineer.
Mm-hmm.
And now my artifact spells have Convoke. So, for 2 mana, a Throne of the God Pharaoh. When I cast it, I get to scry 1.
Mm-hmm.
I want that next turn. I think I do, so we'll leave it on top.
Yep.
Enter go. So
and lose 2 life.
Yeah, so end of a turn, you lose 2 life. 2
18.
tap creatures. Turn.
Is it tap creatures period or your tap creatures?
Mine.
Okay. Draw.
Tap creatures I control.
Yeah, I mean, a red source would be nice, but here's an island. Go ahead.
Untap. Draw for turn. Look at that. Who knew we would draw that? A Blinkmoth Nexus. An Ethereum Sculptor.
Yep.
So when I cast that, get a scry.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want that? Do we want that? I don't think we want it. And so it costs 2, so couldn't quite get it. So for 3 mana,
Convoking, of course.
Convoking. Here's a Traxos, since he costs 1 less thanks to the Ethereum Sculptor. And yeah, we definitely don't want that.
That actually enters tapped.
And then we will attack you in the air for 1.
17.
Enter go. Lose 4.
I will lose 4. 13. Draw. Whatever. Fine. Blue Delta crack. Going 12. It's not even the right land. That thing's huge, isn't it?
It's a 7/7 with trample.
Mine's gonna be bigger. Blood Crypt untapped. 10. Here is a 9/8 with flying and trample.
Oh.
Pass turn.
Untap.
That is an untap.
Draw for turn.
So I'm dead to removal, I suppose, if you have it.
deck doesn't really have main deck
Yeah.
removal.
It's kind of what I figured.
So, Chief Engineer,
It's the other one, but
which is the other one that allows them to tap for
2.
Oh, sorry. Grand Architect.
Architect,
That's
yeah.
that one. We only have foreign, so it's hard to remember the name. But it gives other blue creatures the ability to tap for 2 colorless, only spending it on artifacts.
Yeah, and you can make something blue, or turn an artifact blue for 1 mana.
Yes,
1
for
blue
1
mana.
So, making 6 mana, we'll use 5 of it to cast Wormcoil Engine. So on the cast trigger, I get a scry 1.
Yeah,
We're definitely leaving that on the top. We also get to untap him since I cast 1.
you sure did.
And so we have 1 floating still. 3 mana for Lodestone Golem, cast, scry.
Okay.
Still the same. Untap him again. Oh,
Yep.
wait, he's still untapped. And it is your go.
Lose
4 life.
Go to 6. That's probably just gonna kill me. But
Yeah.
that's alright. Untap, draw.
Unless you can somehow deal with this gigantic board I all of a sudden have.
Sorta. Not well enough that you can't just, like, find something to sink your mana into, probably. You're at 20 still?
Yeah. I don't have fetch lines in this deck. Come on now.
True.
Even though it is mono blue, I kind of have enough ways to dig through that they're not necessary.
And so I'm pretty sure being at 6, I'm dead to the crackback even if I leave up like 3 blockers. Because that pumps all your blue creatures and that would put you over the top. Yes. So... And that is trample anyway. Yeah, so I think I'm dead just to you overwhelming me with things, so I'll attack you for 9 in the air.
Take it.
We're gonna eat some more days, which doesn't get taxed because it's an artifact. And this unfortunately would, but I was pretty close. So tap Steam Vents. I could have also played that, but you're locking me out of it.
Tax.
Yes. Go ahead. Yeah. Obviously, the reason I did that, I'm dead anyway.
Untap.
Too wide.
Draw for turn.
Went way too wide.
So our blue creatures are there. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And you're at 6?
Yeah. Like, I'm just dead to turning everything sideways.
Turn everything sideways. Well, I think we make... one blue to make him blue.
Okay.
And then we'll use 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 mana
Holy.
for Walking Ballista on 6.
Aww. That's no fun.
And then since we cast him,
Yeah.
we get to untap that and scry to the bottom. And since he's still 8 power,
Yeah.
we can attack.
I will... I kind of wish you would have just shot me for one and then let Throne kill me, but that's alright.
Oh yeah, that was an option too.
Oh, also, if you are curious, Torpor Orb doesn't shut off Walking Ballista because it enters with the counters.
Yes.
It doesn't put the counters on once it enters. So
Otherwise, stay-based actions would be like, hey, there's a 0
Yeah.
there here, I need it.
Yeah.
You got.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'll trade with Traxos. Let's trade gigantic thing for gigantic thing.
And we will shoot my my Wormcoil Engine for 6.
Oh, fun. All right, I got a 1. These trade.
This dies into 2 worms. Not that it matters too much.
Yeah, that that works.
There'll be an elephant
Yeah.
and a beast.
Okay. Even though I'm pretty sure we have worms, but doesn't really
Somewhere.
matter. Those actually are untapped,
Oh yeah, sorry.
which is so relevant.
It's so relevant here. So
You gonna pass
end the turn.
So 1, 2...
Actually,
you got me.
No, right, they're artifacts, so I can't tap.
Yeah, you got me. Yeah, not having a red in the early turns kind of screwed me, because I could have had that down pretty early.
You could have had that.
I just kept drawing black and blue sources. And by the time I'm at 4, I'd rather have a 9-8 than a 4-3. So that was game 1, and we'll see you in sideboards. Alright, sideboard time. So as you can see, my sideboard for this is pretty weird. But almost everything in my sideboard, with the exception of Lightning Bolt, actually has a really good synergy with my deck. Like Muddle the Mixture counters stuff if I need to counter stuff, but it also just finds my combo pieces. Ingot Chewer, if I have a Sundial, I can have both. I can evoke it for 1 and destroy an artifact and keep it around.
You line it up the triggers such that you allow the artifact to be destroyed.
Yeah, and then when the evoke triggers on the stack, you just end the turn.
And then you still have a 3/3 around.
And even if I have a Torpor Orb out, it's still a 1-mana 3/3, which is acceptable.
Yes.
Yeah, so Shriekmaw, same exact thing. Evoking works really well. Trickbind just works as a one-off to turn off the thing in case you don't have an orb effect. And I have a lot of Pyroclasms because this doesn't actually hit anything in my main deck. The only thing it would ever hit is Shriekmaws after I board them in, because everything has 3 toughness or more. So pretty good at clearing out little blockers. But for this matchup, obviously the Ingot Chewers are insane.
Yes. Not really a question.
No. And I think the Lightning Bolts are pretty good at taking out your the guys that would enable you to
like
cast
both
your
of my
larger
guys
things.
that allow me to tap the things are 1/3, so
Yeah.
Pyroclasm unfortunately doesn't deal with them.
Yeah, I
it
think-
does hit the other small things like the Artificer's Assistance and stuff, but
The one that makes artifacts cheaper,
Mausoleum,
too.
and then one that makes artifacts cheaper, but,
But
not the 2 big heavy hitters.
No. So, so I think for this matchup, I just bring in my Chewers and my Bolts, and the things that I take out. This one's obvious. Stubborn Denial is there to protect my creatures, because they all have power 4 or more, at least in the main deck. But you don't really do removal, and I don't think you're bringing in Dismember, because all it hits is my 1-drop. Everything else has more
I
than
really
5.
want to dismember a 4/3.
Yeah, like even the...
I mean, it could shrink for Traxos, but the other ones don't have trample, so it's not...
Well, and the other thing, too, is I have a 2-mana 7/7 and a 3-mana 5/6.
Yeah.
So, as my other creatures. So, those obviously come out because they're not really at their best, and you aren't doing anything that... Like, you aren't really trying to cast a non-creature spell for the win. It's usually creature spells. And I'm taking out 1 Engineered Explosives. Those are in there in case you don't have an orb effect and you need to clean up the tokens that hunted whatever guys make.
Yeah.
But in this matchup, you seem to have like quite a variety
it's
of
like
mana
1,
costs.
2, and 3. It's not heavy on either.
Yeah, so it's not at its best. So I'm going to take those out, and I'm going to bring these in.
As for me, as we've said, the Dismembers don't really hit anything, so we don't really want those. Making non-creature spells cost 1 more. Not helpful when he's casting undercosted creatures that used to have a downside. Ceremonious Rejection. I think I'm going to play these, because it hits both of his primary pieces.
Yeah. And the big guy.
And if it doesn't work, it also hits the 9/8. So I think it's reasonable enough to bring these in. That we'll try them. Kira Great Glass Spinner helps prevent targeted removal, so I think we're going to bring her in. Just as a single one of. She can also tap with any of the other things, so it's not like we're losing too much by bringing her in. 1 Phyrexian Metamorph, because he's making bigger creatures than us, so let's just make them ourselves.
Let's copy them.
And we do have this Trinket Mage package, which isn't really relevant here. Trinket Mage, of course, being able to find Pithing Needle, Relic Progenitus, Grafdigger's Cage, or Basilisk Collar, which is beautiful with our Walking Ballistas, but not really as necessary in this matchup. Like, it would be nice to assemble the Basilisk Collar and then just kill all his undercosted threats, but I don't think it's good enough. And we can just bring in a Wormcoil Engine, who has Death Touch naturally and cracks into another Death Touch guy, so he's not fun to keep around when he's playing a few big toughness things.
Yeah.
As for what we're taking out, Smuggler's Copter, just not at its best here. He kind of has a 9/8 flyer that, as nice as blocking it would be, I don't think we need the Smuggler's Copter. And 1 Walking Ballista, as it's not the greatest.
Yeah.
Like, it could have been better with the Basilisk Collar, but when you have to pay 12... When we'd have to pay 16 mana, I keep going. He has a 7/7, and he has a 9/8, so we'd need to be either 14 or 16 mana to kill one thing. It's a little overcosted.
Even when all your creatures can tap for 2 colorless, that's still a lot of mana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We cast an Emrakul with that mana.
Yeah.
So these are coming out. These going in.
Sounds good. See you in game 2. Alright, game 2. Show my hands.
Oh, yeah.
Going first. Yeah, you won last game. That's my hands. Not bad. Good.
And we've got those.
Alright. Tarn for an island, going to 19, and I'll cast a Serum Visions. Which I realize I'm not really shortcutting anything, because I have to find this shuffle and then look at the top ones, but still. Have it.
Whenever you can save time in a video.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Draw a card. Scry 2. Definitely. Probably. Yeah. Both on top. Good.
Draw for turn. Okay, then. Island and an Artificer's Assistant.
Okay.
Turgo.
Draw. Untaps Theme Events. Going to 17. Torpor Orb. Good.
Link Moth Nexus.
Oh, crap. I just realized I meant to play this one, not that one. Can I?
Yeah.
Can I switch this? Yeah. It's totally picked the wrong one.
Chief Engineer.
Yeah.
And we will convoke out a very exciting Walking Ballista on 1.
Okay.
But I get a Scry 1. And yeah, I think I'd rather land. As much fun as that card is. Turgo.
Untap. Draw. Bloodstained Mire. Yeah. Here is a Vexing Devil. In response to the enter the battlefield trigger, I will end my turn. So, 4-3 for 1.
Untap. Draw for turn. Ooh. It's just so unfortunate I needed to land. This is tough. I only got 5. I need another blue. Another Artificer's Assistant.
Yep.
Attack you for 1 in the air.
16.
Enter go.
Not gonna crack that. Untap. Draw. That one's less exciting. Looting. Draw 2. Discard. Land off any of those would have been fantastic.
Looking for lands too.
Yeah. Phantasm and Orb.
Yep.
That's why I didn't crack this.
That's why I cast them. Walking Ballista. That's just the scry.
Attack for 4.
16.
And... At this point, is it even worth doing any of these things? Maybe. I'll just pass.
Untap.
Got nothing good going on.
Draw for turn. So it's a land, but I'd have preferred an island.
I'll take anything, honestly. Black Source
So
would
it
be
actually
nice,
is fine. So we can go 6 mana
Holy free holies.
for Worm Coil Engine.
Whew. Alright. Sounds good. I mean, it
And
doesn't. It sounds awful.
It is your go.
Untap. Land, please. Thank you. So you got one. Finally. What's better here, though? That or that? There's a Scalding Tarn. And... yeah. Ingot Chewer evoked, and I will stack the triggers so that destroying target artifact happens first, and then the evoke triggers
so
on the
evoke
stack,
triggers on the bottom.
and I will end my turn.
So
So
he dies.
Yes.
Well, yeah, you let that resolve, so he
Yeah.
dies.
And then evoke would make the sacrifice itself.
And then in response to my death trigger, you end the turn.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yep. So yeah, it's your turn.
Untap. Draw for turn. Make it bigger, I guess. Something.
Oof.
6 mana
This is another one?
for Walking Ballista on 3.
Ah.
Intro.
End of your turn, I'll crack both these just to save time. Go to 14.
Oh, I guess when I cast it, I can scry.
You get 2.
Yeah, I do get 2.
Yeah.
Do I want...
Either way, I'm just doing this, so.
No, I think we want that, so we're going to leave that on top and then scry again, and we still want that. We're going to leave it right there. I think I forgot the scry triggers on my Worm Coil, but...
Oh, yeah, I think you did too. We're playing a lot of games today, so
Yes.
we're starting to near that point where it's a little overload.
It is quite impressive that pros can manage to play like 8 rounds.
Oh, I know. So you're good?
Yes.
Untap. Draw card. That will be okay. So you have a 3/3 up?
Yes.
That's about it. Boosh.
Do I trade? I don't think I do. Do I? Yeah, we'll trade with the Vexen Devil.
Okay.
Take 3, going to 13.
Which one's better here? Probably. Okay. So now here's a Torpor Orb, just so I don't have to keep paying a mana. I already got my Ingot Chewer.
I think I shall
Oh,
deny that.
Sure. That does count.
You gotta pay your mana.
So, fine. Untaps the events, go to 12. Here's a 7/7. Respond to the trigger. End my turn.
Untap. Draw for turn. Kinda knew what that was. Island.
Yep.
Grand Architect.
That's actually going to turn those flyers into threats. As silly as that is.
And I'm at 13, you're at 12.
Indeed.
Four.
8.
Enter go.
Tap. Draw. That's pretty good timing. Yeah. Whoosh. Oh, that's only a 2, right?
That's a 1. Yeah, it's a 2-4.
With him, it's a 2/4. Yeah, that's fine then. Send both.
So we'll block. that. And then, yeah, take 7.
Okay.
Going to 6.
So these just bounce off each other. Second main phase. Eater of Days.
Should have saved my ceremonious.
End my turn in response to the trigger.
In response to your end the turn,
I don't know if you... Well, yeah, I guess
Yeah.
you could.
I will pump him twice
Sure.
and shoot your ingot trigger
Yeah.
once.
And that resolves, I assume?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
yeah, that happens. I guess the correct point would be when you cast that, I would respond. So then you'd either
Yeah.
you wouldn't have any incentive to end the turn there.
Mm-hmm.
And there is my way to untap my Traxos.
You just need a
I
Traxos.
just need Traxos, and here's a Mausoleum Wonder. Here's another flyer.
This time you had the opposite problem, looks like. You drew all the sheep stuff, but nothing to ramp into.
Yeah. But so we activate Blink Moth Nexus.
Okay.
We attack you for 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, am I just dead to this, actually?
I think you are.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Because I do have the
8.
blue to
Yeah, that's
transform
8.
Blink Moth Nexus.
Yeah, that's 8. I guess I probably should have left the horror back then. I didn't really think about that.
You just
Yeah,
get swarmed.
that makes sense. Oh, I didn't think about, like,
Yeah, the
having to play around that
yeah,
as well.
Because
Yeah.
he can still tap, and so I
Yeah.
have 4 mana,
Yeah.
so I can put an extra counter on.
Yep. Yep, you got me. I will block the assistant.
So I shall put a counter on.
Oh, actually, hang on a sec. Block that. You shoot me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I don't think it matters
No,
when
it
you
doesn't
block,
matter at all. Block an assistant.
because I can
Yep.
make him blue, so he deals 2,
Yep.
and put a counter on him,
Yep.
and then take 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yep. You could also just shoot me. Like, you didn't even need to do the counter
Yeah.
stuff. You just attack him and
Yeah,
shoot.
I wouldn't have even needed to
Yeah.
make that extra counter because it's still 8.
Mhm.
But may as well.
Yep, you got me. It was close, though.
That it was.
And I'm just trying to think, yeah, so actually with the way you did this, even if I let this back, it wouldn't
underestimated
matter.
the swarm of 1/1s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that kind of turned them into threats.
what I
They
mean.
weren't really
Like,
threatening until
They
that
weren't
point.
threatening until all of a sudden they were.
But it was also like, now that I'm seeing this, even if I would have left this back to block something, it wouldn't have mattered because you would have been able to pump this,
Yeah, pump
and
this.
then shoot me.
You would have had the Ingature as well, potentially, though.
Would I have?
Yeah, because then I wouldn't have been able to do 2 damage and 1 damage to it.
Yeah.
But then I would have just had an extra counter on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. So
And
I
then
think
if I
I
didn't-
think I was
yeah.
dead no matter what.
'Cause
I just
even if
didn't
I
have time to
didn't-
run all these out.
If I didn't attack,
Yeah.
I could produce 2, like,
Mhm.
a bunch of extra counters on
Yeah.
that, and I think it had got out of hand anyway.
Yeah, I think actually the more I'm seeing this, I don't think this is a very good matchup for me because you actually like this goes a lot wider than I was expecting it to. I thought this would be more like a few
Like
big things,
yeah,
but
it has the few big things,
It-
but
yeah.
it goes wide. to
and the
make
problem
big
and the
things.
problem with going wide is my answers to that are like engineered explosives because it also kind of helps my plan. But since you have such a variety,
yeah,
like popping it on one there would
yeah,
have
and
been
you don't
good.
want to you don't want to lose your hunted horror to deal
Yeah.
with my chief engineer, so
Exactly.
it's kind of a little tricky there.
All right, well that was that, and that was it, right?
Yeah,
Those 2? You
that was
wanted
it
2?
too. I wanted to.
All right, so see you tomorrow for our final quarterfinal.